Managing or being a remote worker during COVID-19 is going to be relatively new for a lot of folks, and it will present some unique challenges. My name is Jim Petitpren, talking today from my office here at PRA USA, where I currently manage remote workers, and I have been doing so for almost 20 years now, in multiple states as well as 2 foreign countries. Let me share with you some of the valuable lessons that I've learned and been able to implement in the real world. Regardless of what side of the fence you're on, this information is very timely. It will help you whether you are a remote worker yourself, a person managing remote workers, probably from a remote workplace by yourself, right? And let's face it, this COVID-19 thing will change the workplace like 9/11 changed air travel. So get ready. A little history first though. My first remote management experience was when I opened an office in the financial district in downtown Chicago, working out of my office in Detroit. This was uncharted territory for me, so I wanted not to fail. And I went to a very expensive weekend seminars on how to manage remote workplaces. Guess what I learned? Just about nothing. It was an academic exercise created by someone who had never lived it. Oh, I got a few ideas, of course, and it started me thinking, but it was definitely overrated. Now I've lived it on many levels for 20 plus years. So what I will share with you has been validated by that experience. If you want to survive and even thrive in this new world, listen up and apply some of the parts of what I have to share to your unique situation. This is not a one-size-fits-all, rather a guide to help you navigate your particular situation with proven techniques, and you may even invent a few new ones of your own along the way. I promise it will save you time, aggravation, and money. The goal here is to provide you with some tools that will help you not only survive and thrive, but you will do it with less effort. So listen up as I share the major components to successfully managing remotely. Remember, even if you are not a manager and are being managed, you can use this information to help your manager manage you, and if done properly, it will make you both look good. It'll help you thrive with less effort, and you may even get compensated for it. Now buckle up and let's go for a ride in this new territory. The most important part of your matrix is your attitude. It is everything. Attitude equals altitude, and high altitude equals high energy, and that high energy level is going to be felt by the entire team daily in this new virtual workspace that you're going to be operating in. Maintaining that positive attitude and energy is going to pay huge dividends to accomplish your goals. Your team is going to pick up on your energy and your attitude. So recently, listen to this, a survey was just done last week about 29 leaders of companies with a revenue range between $2.2 and $500 million. It returned 3 equal distributions of attitude types that leaders are currently displaying. 2 of them were negative, but 1 positive one, the one you need to stay with, the one that will project team energy, that will end up in success. That's it, you guessed it, attitude. These leaders had a solid positive attitude. They knew where they were going. They knew about the good things that their team were going to be accomplishing in this challenging period, and they stayed focused, and they had a plan, and they knew that they were going to be going after opportunities. They didn't allow themselves, or they won't allow themselves, to get distracted in the wrong direction. They are using attitude to make a paradigm shift into this new economy. It's just around the corner. We all know it. So think about it for a minute. If most of those leaders are stuck in a funk, and you are positive, that means when we come out of this, you're going to leave your competition in the dust. And I know that you want to be that leader. So you have to ask yourself, how do we make sure that we stay there as far as the attitude? There are a lot of solid materials out there now from social scientists about coping mechanisms. I encourage you to check them out and implement whatever applies to you so that you can maintain an amazing positive attitude as you go in the future. So here's something that I want you to really pay attention to. First off, what I'm going to share right now is not rocket science. It's stuff that you do all the time, but it's necessary because you're going to be in a new venue. It's just different from the one that you've been doing. So you're going to need to make some major adjustments. But don't get me wrong, you're still the same unique person. and all of your personal style attributes, they need to be exactly the same as they were before. You just need to be cognizant of the new environment and the new methodologies that you're going to be implementing. The most important methodology is interface. So let's talk about that a little bit first. This new interface is critical. It needs to be managed carefully, not only for success purposes, but also for employee retention. Let me explain first about the retention part. One of the downfalls of working remotely is the susceptibility of team members falling victim to something you already know. Out of sight, out of mind. You get forgotten, you get distracted, you get unproductive, you get depressed, and then you get fired. And I know you don't want that to happen to any team members of yours. You want to retain them. And with your positive energy and attitude and the proper management of this new workspace interface that you're now in, you will be successful. So are you ready? Here's how it works. This new interface, of course, you still need to have the normal phone conversations, emails, and text messages. However, your video meetings now will be like 5 times as important because people aren't seeing each other face to face in the office anymore. As in the past, it wasn't that important. Your team will need to have many of them to keep the energy flowing. Meetings with more than one person, one-on-one meetings, three people, whatever. They're all more important now than ever because, as you know, humans crave visual interaction on a regular basis. And the entire team needs to be more vigilant now than ever before to maintain that feeling of urgency, energy, and connectedness. Your entire team needs to be on board for much more contact. So the idea here is to keep your team connected even tighter than they were back at the office when they were like face to face all the time. Encourage them to frequently video each other throughout the day simply by bouncing quick ideas off of each other to help them feel connected. Some of my video meetings, I kid you not, are literally less than 5 seconds. Less than 5 seconds. But they're so important. Let me share with you what real life is like in this new workspace. Here's how I do it with my current team. Every morning at 8:30, we all connect via Skype. We each review our highlights from the day before so that the rest of the team will be up to speed. We also talk about the individual interactions and accomplishments that may have happened between some of us. Again, just to keep the team informed, and it also has the effect of energizing them. We are careful not to share too much, just a summary. Any other details that need to be known, they can be covered by side meetings. They get scheduled during each meeting also, during each daily meeting. It goes like this. Hey Mary, I just finished XYZ yesterday. George and I need some input from you to finish it. Can we hang out after the meeting for, let's say, 10 minutes or so to get that accomplished? Yeah, I can do that. So that's done, right? Also, we'll go around the table and each of us on our own talks about what is important for the day ahead and what our plans are. As this is happening, we sometimes, as appropriate, might go into a collaboration or a little brainstorming session to help each other out. We may apply some Scrum techniques in case somebody's overwhelmed in meeting a deadline. That way somebody that has some extra time on their hands can jump in and carry the ball. All of us then come up with action plans for the day as needed and apply, again, I apply some accountability. Yeah, that good old accountability tool again. There are so many effective ways to do the accountability when you're doing virtual stuff. More about that later when I get into remote management techniques in another series. At the end of our meeting, we make sure to ask who needs side meetings and we get those schedules. It can go something like, Fred, hey, need to meet with Jenica at ABC Company. I want to send out an invite for later today. Hopefully you're open around 3 o'clock because that's when she wants to meet. Yeah, I can do that. Or Ahmed, hey, I need to meet with you to discuss XYZ project. I don't want to take the rest of the team's time because it's probably going to take us quite a while to get through it. So how about right after this meeting, we hang out together on Skype and we can share screens and discuss where we go from here. Sure, yeah, let's do that. Then Julie chimes in and she says, oh, wait a minute. Hey, guys, I think I should be in that meeting too. Don't you agree? Oh, yeah, you're right. You should be in there. I apologize. We'll see you there then. So these daily meetings usually last between like 15 and 30 minutes. However, every Friday morning, we have a weekly meeting. This one could go as long as an hour and a half. However, usually it's about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what we got going on. We cover the major accomplishments for the week. Along with that, our major goals, we share that for the next week so that we can get it teed up for the following Monday. That way we can hit the ground running again. Accountability tools will apply some of those. Now, let's wrap this up with some final thoughts. So in closing, for sure, going forward, things will be changing quite a bit, right? I hope you found some of my experience helpful to keep things productive for you as you move forward with this new way of working in these virtual workspaces. Undoubtedly, permanent changes will be happening in our culture after this COVID-19 crisis. So we will need to develop some new methodologies of surviving and actually thriving in a much better way than we have in the past. My next videos will help you attain those goals by covering more about remote workspace management, including workplace structure, motivation, accountability methods, and most importantly, what I like to call the art of connectedness. Also, this period can truly be a blessing for all of us if we manage it properly. And I'd like to continue to help you with that. The one caution I would have for you is this: don't let your people get lazy. The temptations of working from home can be very huge and detrimental to success. Always maintain your daily, weekly, and monthly goals, as well as your SMART objectives, your quarterly goals, your annual goals. Keep in constant contact with your team members, your managers, your subordinates, your interdepartmental relationships. Make sure you have some kind of face time as an organization. Hey, here you go. It might be a good time to plan that company picnic and have a party. Summer's just around the corner and we'll be outside again. In closing though, I welcome calls from managers to discuss in more detail your individual challenges and how you may be able to implement some of what I've learned over the last 20 years of remote management. As I mentioned, more of these videos will be coming, so please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel right away. And be sure to click on the bell icon for notifications. It's up there in the corner. And lastly, I wish you much success and look forward to sharing more with you in the future.